Welcome. We're so glad to see you here on Stream Smart 50 Plus, where we talk about the real issues that matter after 50 and the simple, surprising solutions that can change your life. And today, we've got a fascinating topic that could reshape how you think about bladder health and what's really helping it heal. Now picture this. They're tiny. You could spill 100 across your palm and barely notice them. But some of these humble little seeds, they've been calming angry, overactive bladders for thousands of years, long before medications, long before urologists. And now, science is racing to understand why they work so well. If you're waking up multiple times a night, if you can't leave the house without mapping every bathroom on your route, if that sudden, urgent need to go keeps hijacking your day, you are not alone, not even close. Millions are dealing with this, silently. Frustrated, exhausted. But what if real relief didn't come from a pharmacy? What if it came from your kitchen? What if you could support your bladder, calm it, rebuild it, strengthen it, with just a spoonful a day or a sprinkle in your smoothie? Because these 10 incredible seeds aren't just old wives' tales. They're nutrient-packed powerhouses. They reduce inflammation, support bladder lining, help regulate those maddening urges, and best of all, they help you take back control of your bladder and your life. Coming in at number 1, pumpkin seeds. Small, crunchy, and often overlooked. But inside these green gems is a powerhouse of healing. Rich in zinc and plant sterols, pumpkin seeds act like natural armor for both your bladder and your prostate. They do more than just sit in trail mix. They actively fight inflammation in the urinary tract, help regulate hormones that affect prostate size, and support a strong, steady flow. And here's something incredible. In multiple studies, men who consumed pumpkin seed extract daily reported a noticeable drop in urgency, fewer nighttime bathroom trips, even less swelling of the prostate itself. Why? Because zinc helps maintain the integrity of the bladder lining. And plant sterols? They're like little scouts, calming inflammation and keeping things running smoothly below the belt. James, 67, told us something amazing. I started sprinkling pumpkin seeds on my salads, just a small handful every day. Didn't think much of it at first. But after 2 weeks, I realized something strange. I wasn't getting up at 2 a.m. anymore. Or 4 a.m. I was sleeping all the way through. That hadn't happened in years. And the only thing I changed? Those little seeds. And that's the power of nature when it's finally given a chance to work. Simple, accessible, proven. Pumpkin seeds are more than just a snack. They're a frontline defense in the battle for better bladder and prostate health. Taking the second spot on our list, the tiny titan known as the chia seed. At first glance, they're barely visible, small, black, and lighter than a grain of rice. But don't be fooled. Inside each of these little seeds is a powerful cocktail of nutrients that can soothe, rebalance, and rebuild your bladder from the inside out. Chia seeds are incredibly rich in omega-3 fatty acids, the natural inflammation fighters your body craves. And not just a sprinkle, gram for gram, they pack more omega-3s than salmon. These fats help calm overactive tissues, reduce irritation in the bladder lining, and even support healthy nerve function in the pelvic region. But there's more. Chia is also loaded with soluble fiber, which turns into a gel when soaked. Inside your digestive tract, that gel acts like a gentle sponge, helping soak up toxins, regulate digestion, and ease the pressure that often radiates from your gut to your bladder. That might sound unrelated, but ask anyone with bladder issues. When digestion is off, everything down there feels worse. That gel-like texture isn't just filling, it acts like a gentle, natural buffer. It's like drinking something soothing and protective, a kind of internal balm that wraps your tissues in calm. Here's what Marlene, 72, told us. I had this low ache in my bladder that never went away. No UTI, no clear diagnosis, just constant irritation. A friend suggested chia pudding, so I tried it. Just almond milk, honey, and a spoonful of seeds. After a week, I noticed less urgency, less discomfort, and after 2 weeks, I finally felt like I wasn't living in fear of the next bathroom trip. Don't let their size fool you. Chia seeds might be tiny, but their impact on your bladder and gut can be enormous. Soothing, nourishing, reliable. These seeds are like a gentle whisper to your body saying, "It's okay, you can relax now." At number 3, we have a true unsung hero of hormone and bladder health. Flax seeds, the tiny golden or brown seeds that pack a surprising punch. We call them the hormone harmonizer. And here's why that matters more than most people realize. Because when it comes to bladder issues, especially after 50, hormones are often the hidden culprit behind the chaos. Flax seeds are rich in lignans, plant compounds that gently help balance estrogen and support hormonal stability. For women in menopause or postmenopause, that means less dryness, less irritation, and more support for the tissues around the bladder and urethra. And for men, balanced hormones help keep the prostate from swelling, which means less pressure on the bladder, less urgency, and a stronger, easier flow. But flax doesn't stop there. These seeds are also loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, the same kind of anti-inflammatory nutrients found in chia, and plenty of fiber, which helps reduce bloating and abdominal pressure that can worsen urinary symptoms. And here's something fascinating. Several small clinical studies have shown that flax seeds may help reduce symptoms of overactive bladder in both men and women, including fewer sudden urges, less nighttime urination, and more control throughout the day. We heard from Thomas, 69, who shared this with us. I started adding a tablespoon of ground flax to my morning oatmeal. Didn't expect much, but after a couple weeks, the urgency I'd been living with every day started to ease. I wasn't running to the bathroom constantly anymore. I had space in my day again. It was the first time I felt like I was in charge of my bladder, not the other way around. The secret? Flax works gently, naturally, not by forcing your body to behave, but by helping your hormones behave. And when your hormones are balanced, everything else, from your bladder to your mood to your energy, gets better. So whether you're dealing with urgency, irritation, or prostate pressure, flax seeds deserve a spot in your daily routine. Simple, affordable, deeply powerful. This is Hormone Harmony, brought to you by a humble seed. Number 4 on our list brings us to a seed that's finally getting the spotlight it deserves. Hemp seeds, soft, nutty, and creamy, with a light crunch. But don't let their mild taste fool you. These little seeds are anti-inflammatory machines, and they come loaded with nutrients that speak directly to the body's pain and tension signals, especially the ones that affect your bladder. Hemp seeds are one of nature's richest sources of magnesium, a mineral that plays a critical role in how your muscles and nerves behave. Why does that matter? Because the bladder is surrounded by smooth muscle. And when those muscles are overstimulated or inflamed, you get painful spasms, urgency, and that constant pressure that makes it feel like you always have to go. Magnesium helps calm that overactivity. It soothes the nerve signals that shout, "Go now," even when your bladder isn't full. And over time, it can help reduce the hyperactive spasms that many people describe as bladder lightning. Sudden, sharp urges that seem to come out of nowhere. But hemp seeds don't stop with magnesium. They're also incredibly rich in complete plant protein, with all 9 essential amino acids. That means they help rebuild and support muscle tissue, not just in your arms or legs, but in the pelvic floor and bladder wall, where strength and tone really matter as we age. We spoke with Elise, 66, who shared her experience. I was getting these sudden bladder spasms, painful, jarring, and unpredictable. Sometimes I'd be fine for hours, then boom, I'd need a bathroom now. My daughter, who's a nutritionist, suggested I try hemp seeds. I started adding them to my morning yogurt. After a week, I felt a little better. After 3 weeks, the spasms were almost gone. I could go on walks again without fear. I felt like my body wasn't fighting me anymore. It's easy to overlook something so small, But hemp seeds offer a rare combination of calming minerals, muscle-repairing proteins, and gentle anti-inflammatory power, all packed into something you can sprinkle on your oatmeal or blend into a smoothie. For anyone struggling with urgency, spasms, or that raw nerve feeling in the bladder, these little seeds might be the calm you've been waiting for. Next on our list, and coming in strong at number 5, are the golden, crunchy, feel-good favorites, sunflower seeds. You've probably enjoyed them by the handful, maybe sprinkled on a salad or mixed into granola. But here's something most people don't know. These tiny seeds do more than satisfy a snack craving. They help rebuild and reinforce one of the most important muscles in your entire body, your bladder wall. How? Sunflower seeds are rich in vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that supports tissue repair and reduces inflammation in delicate muscles and linings. That's essential for older adults because as we age, the bladder wall, like all muscles, can start to lose strength and elasticity. And when that happens, the bladder can't hold as much, can't hold as long, and it becomes more prone to spasms, urgency, and leaks. Sunflower seeds also deliver a healthy dose of selenium, a lesser-known but essential mineral that helps with muscle tone, regeneration, and protection from stress and oxidative damage. Together, vitamin E and selenium create a dynamic duo that works quietly in the background to strengthen your bladder from the inside out. What does that mean for you? More holding power, fewer gotta go now moments, and better overall control, especially during the day when you're active or at night when your sleep depends on it. So the next time you reach for a snack, consider this. A small handful of sunflower seeds could be helping you build back bladder strength you thought was gone for good. They're not just tasty, they're therapeutic. At number 6, we turn to one of the oldest healing foods known to man, sesame seeds. Small, nutty, and packed with centuries of wisdom. Used in ancient Chinese medicine for urinary health, sesame seeds have long been a go-to remedy to support smoother urine flow, reduce leakage, and help restore balance to the bladder. What makes them special? Sesame seeds are loaded with healthy fats, plant-based proteins, and unique compounds called lignans, which have gentle hormone balancing effects. These properties make sesame especially helpful for people who are experiencing age-related changes in bladder control. Whether that means slow flow, post-pee dribbling, or unexpected leaks. In traditional medicine, they were believed to nourish the kidneys and bladder, supporting not just urinary health, but vital energy, something we often feel slipping as we get older. And modern research is beginning to back up that ancient wisdom. Sesame seeds may help improve tone in the lower urinary tract muscles, reduce irritation, and help the bladder empty more completely, reducing those annoying residual dribbles. And here's a tip we love to share. 1 tablespoon a day keeps the dribbles away. That's right, just 1 spoonful of sesame seeds sprinkled over your breakfast or stirred into a smoothie may be enough to support flow, control, and confidence. Don't underestimate these humble seeds. They've stood the test of time for a reason, working gently, naturally, and effectively to support both men and women in keeping their bladder behavior calm, steady, and reliable. At number 7, we're shining a light on a surprising underdog. Watermelon seeds, yes. Those tiny black seeds you used to spit out at summer picnics are actually a hidden gem when it comes to bladder comfort and kidney support. Roasted and eaten whole, these little seeds are more than edible. They're therapeutic, with a long history of use as a natural diuretic that helps your body flush out excess fluid gently, safely, and effectively. Here's how it works. Watermelon seeds are rich in magnesium, zinc, and B vitamins, all of which support kidney function and promote urine flow. By helping your body release extra water and sodium, they reduce bloating, swelling, and that uncomfortable feeling of pressure in the lower abdomen that can aggravate bladder urgency. When your kidneys are sluggish, fluid tends to build up in the tissues, especially in the lower body. That extra fluid can put pressure on the bladder, making it harder to hold and easier to trigger those frequent, urgent trips to the bathroom. But watermelon seeds act like a gentle internal broom, sweeping out the excess, lightening the load, and giving your bladder more room to breathe. We heard from Harold, 74, who gave them a try after his wife roasted a batch. I thought it sounded silly, watermelon seeds, but after a week or so, I noticed I wasn't feeling so puffy. My ankles weren't swelling by the end of the day. And to my surprise, I wasn't running to the bathroom as often. It's like everything got a little more balanced, just from a seed I used to toss in the grass. Roasted watermelon seeds have a mild, nutty flavor, kind of like sunflower seeds, and they're easy to snack on by the handful or toss into trail mix. And what do you get in return? Less water retention, less pelvic pressure, less urgency, more freedom, more comfort, and a little taste of summer that just might help your bladder relax. Seed number 8 may already be sitting in your spice rack, but its healing power goes far beyond flavor. We're talking about fennel seeds, light, fragrant, and long used as a natural remedy for digestion, bloating, and yes, bladder spasms and urinary urgency. These tiny seeds are nothing short of an anti-spasm miracle. For centuries, from ancient Egypt to traditional Indian medicine, fennel seeds have been used to calm the muscles of the urinary tract, especially when tension, pressure, or inflammation triggers that relentless gotta-go feeling. What makes them so effective? Fennel seeds contain natural antispasmodic compounds, including anethol, which help relax smooth muscle tissue, including the bladder and urethra. That means fewer false alarms, fewer random surges of urgency, and more control when it really matters. They're especially helpful for people dealing with overactive bladder, postmenopausal bladder irritation, or inflammation left over from past infections. And because fennel also supports digestion and reduces gas and bloating, it helps eliminate the pressure that often contributes to urinary discomfort. It's a double win, calming the bladder and the gut at the same time. And when both systems are at ease, you're far more likely to feel light, in control, and calm throughout the day. Anita, 68, shared this with us. I started drinking fennel seed tea twice a day after a friend told me it might help. It tasted lovely, like licorice and herbs. But what really surprised me was the effect. Within a few days, I wasn't getting those random urges anymore. I could walk around the grocery store without planning my route to the nearest restroom. It felt like my bladder had finally settled down. Whether sipped as a tea or chewed after meals, fennel seeds are one of the gentlest, yet most effective, natural ways to tame spasms, reduce irritation, and bring back the calm your bladder has been missing. Simple, ancient, and still powerful today. This little seed is a reminder that sometimes the oldest remedies are still the best. Seed number 9 brings the cool, literally. Coriander seeds, soft, round, and golden brown, may be best known for their warm, citrusy flavor in cooking. But in ancient healing traditions, these little seeds were prized for something far more soothing, cooling down the burn in your bladder. If you've ever felt that uncomfortable burning sensation when you urinate, whether from infection, inflammation, or irritation, you know how disruptive and exhausting it can be. That sting, that heat, it makes every bathroom trip feel like a punishment. And that's where coriander comes in. In Ayurvedic medicine, coriander seeds have long been used as a natural coolant, both for the digestive system and the urinary tract. They help reduce internal heat, calm inflamed tissues, and ease the kind of raw discomfort that often comes with recurring UTIs, bladder irritation, or interstitial cystitis. What makes coriander seeds so effective? They contain compounds that support kidney filtration and urine production, helping the body flush out toxins while reducing inflammation. They're also naturally antimicrobial, which means they help fight off bacteria while cooling the tissues they leave inflamed. Think of them like a cold compress for your bladder, but from the inside out. Here's what Raj, 64, told us. I had been struggling with that low, burning feeling. Not a full-blown infection, just irritation that wouldn't go away. Someone suggested coriander seed tea. I was skeptical, but I tried it for a week. Let me tell you, the difference was amazing. It was like the fire went out. No more sting, just relief. You can steep the seeds in hot water and sip the tea warm, or soak them overnight in cool water and drink it first thing in the morning. A common traditional remedy for calming the urinary system and cooling the body overall. If your bladder feels hot, raw, or overworked, coriander seeds just might be the cooling, cleansing ally you didn't know you needed. And now, we've arrived at seed number 10, one that has earned legendary status across multiple ancient traditions. You may have heard it called Nigella sativa, or black cumin, or simply the black seed. But no matter what you call it, one thing is certain. This tiny, jet black seed has been treasured for thousands of years for its healing power. And now, modern science is starting to explain why. Black seed is famous in traditional Middle Eastern and South Asian medicine, where it's been described as a remedy that heals everything but death. That's a bold claim. But when it comes to bladder inflammation, immune overreaction, and chronic irritation, Nigella lives up to the hype. So what does it actually do? Nigella seeds contain powerful compounds like thymoquinone, a natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant that has been shown to reduce pain, swelling, and hypersensitivity in irritated tissues. This makes them especially useful for conditions like bladder pain syndrome, BPS, interstitial cystitis, and even frequent urination that isn't caused by infection, but by inflammation of the bladder wall. Nigella also supports the immune system, not by cranking it up, but by helping regulate it. This is crucial in bladder conditions that involve immune dysfunction or chronic, low-grade inflammation that won't go away on its own. And here's what's exciting. Some small but promising studies have shown that Nigella seed oil helped reduce the symptoms of bladder pain syndrome in women, including pain, urgency, and nighttime urination. Participants reported better sleep, fewer trips to the bathroom, and an overall improvement in quality of life. Eleanor, 70, told us, "I started using black seed oil because my daughter swears by it for her allergies. But the surprise was what it did for my bladder. The pain I'd had for months, that low, throbbing ache, started to fade. And I wasn't getting up 5 times a night anymore. It's like my whole system finally calmed down." Whether you take it as a supplement, use the oil in your cooking, or stir the whole seeds into a smoothie or salad, Nigella is a mighty final piece in your natural bladder health toolbox. Inflammation down, immunity up, comfort restored. That's the power of the black seed. Tiny, ancient, and more relevant today than ever before. Tiny, ancient, powerful. These seeds may not look like medicine, but inside, they're fighting inflammation, calming your bladder, and giving you your freedom back. How to use them daily. 1 tablespoon ground flax or chia in smoothies. Sprinkle pumpkin or sunflower seeds on salads. Brew fennel or coriander, seed tea after meals. Mix hemp hearts into oatmeal. Use black seed oil, Nigella, in moderation. But remember, always check with your doctor, especially if you're on medications. Don't let your bladder control your life. You deserve restful sleep, long walks, laughter, not bathroom maps and interruptions. Sometimes healing doesn't come in a pill. Sometimes it starts with a seed.